The drive for 5 is still alive for undefeated Lake Travis. In fact, no Texas high school football team has ever won 5 consecutive state championships. Standing in the Cavaliers' way of their record 28th consecutive playoff victory was district rival Cedar Park in the Class 4A Division I regional finals at Darrell K. Royal Texas Memorial Stadium.
We set our goal from the start of the year, and we were saying, obviously the drive for 5. We just wanted it to happen, and we're determined for it to happen. And hopefully it still can happen, and we just got to keep the train rolling like we have this entire year.
Oh yeah, definitely, every day. We definitely want to go down in the history books as winning 5 in a row. That's our major goal.
Lake Travis used special teams as a spark early on as Cameron Wrinkle takes this punt, breaks to the outside, makes a few moves, and Wrinkle races 45 yards before finally being brought down inside the Cedar Park 40-yard line to set the Cavs up in great field position. Lake Travis would not waste any time scoring. Watch as Cavalier quarterback Baker Mayfield fires a strike to Griffin Gilbert, who hauls in the 17-yard touchdown pass, and it was 7-0 Cavaliers.
They would make adjustments to help slow us down. Our offense didn't really pick it up.
Cedar Park would answer a bit later as T-Wolves senior quarterback Brian Hogan would lead CP to the end zone with this beautifully thrown ball to Ethan Fry for a 22-yard touchdown pass. Cedar Park head coach Chris Ross says Hogan and these Timberwolves seniors have been great leaders their entire careers.
Well, you know, that senior class won 2 district championships and made 2 quarterfinal runs. I don't even know how many gold balls they won in 3 years. It's an unbelievable group. I'm going to miss their leadership. I'm going to miss the way they were with their teammates, their unselfishness. You know what, as coaches, we're competitors and we want to win. The losing doesn't hurt. What loses is you lose your family.
Following a 32-yard field goal by Austin Randa, the Timberwolves led 9-7. But Lake Travis answered quickly. On the ensuing drive, Varshawn Nixon took the handoff and bolted through a huge hole on his way to a 44-yard touchdown run. It was 14-9 following the extra point.
We was Steelers going gold, and usually Cedar Park, they all slant to the right, which I was usually to cut it up, but my left tackle did a great job and hooked the guy, and I got around this guy, and I just took off as fast as I could.
Sean Nixon, hey, we just asked him to step up his game. That's all I can ask for. One play, he just gets it, takes it to the house. He's a great ball player. I wouldn't expect anything different.
A big run, a little stretch play inside zone, whichever one it was. Made a great cut. Once he gets north and south, I'll tell you he's a special player, and he's going to be a heck of a player around Lake Travis for a long time.
So at halftime, Lake Travis was leading Cedar Park 14-9, but little did either team know going into the second half it would be a defensive struggle.
Our D-line, we try to stay in our gas. We have to stay where we're supposed to be, do our job, and if we do our job, someone's going to make the play.
Defensively, both teams anchored down in the second half. Easier said than done, though, considering the Lake Travis had roughly 3,000 yards passing and 3,000 yards rushing coming into this showdown with 11-2 Cedar Park, who was known for their defensive success the past 2 seasons. It took a late fourth-quarter touchdown last year in the regional finals for Lake Travis to nip Cedar Park 21-20 at the home of the Longhorns following a regular season loss to the Timberwolves. With both teams struggling offensively, though, in this game in the second half, it would come down to big plays on defense. Cedar Park quarterback Brian Hogan had managed to rush for 64 hard-fought yards, but only had 79 yards passing. The Cavs did a nice job of containing the T-Wolves' zone read plays for the most part.
I just had to stay outside. He's a fast runner. He could get to the edge very quickly. His O-line is pretty good, so they could zone us on some plays, but we got around him and we stopped him.
We saw our offense struggling a little bit, and defense on the sideline, everybody's motivated to keep playing hard, play our game. We just got to keep fighting through all the tiredness and all the pain that we had.
Cedar Park's defense was equally as impressive, containing this high-powered Lake Travis offense. Timberwolf head coach Chris Ross was pleased with his D.
You know what? We had a feeling going in that it would be a defensive ball game. We've played each other 4 times in 2 years. There's no secrets. You are who you are this late in the year. It's not going to change. Our defense has played extremely well all year long. And, Coach Willis, our defensive coordinator, and those guys did an unbelievable job. Our defense played extremely well. It was a game that's going to come down to a couple of breaks. And we felt going in 17 points would win the game. And that's kind of how it played out.
We now move late in the fourth quarter with LT still leading 14-9 and Cedar Park on the move. The T-Wolves appeared to finally make the big play they were looking for, but this 25-yard pass play to the 11-yard line was called back due to holding. That would put CP in a tough predicament. A couple of plays later, facing 4th and 16, Hogan was tackled for a short gain and the ball was turned over on downs.
It was unfortunate. Probably the biggest play of the game, it was a holding call. But my hat is off to Lake Travis. They did an unbelievable job. I think Hank Carter and his staff have done an amazing job getting those kids prepared, and they play extremely hard.
Following a 3-and-out, Hogan was trying to take the T-Wolves onto his own shoulders, but this deep pass was intercepted by Brock Kenyon in the closing seconds, and that would seal the game. Lake Travis 14, Cedar Park 9, your final.
Brock Kenyon made the pick, and I was relieved. I loved him after that. Everyone was so excited.
Having Brock Kenyon step up with that ball, just such a relief, knowing that we came up with the win, and just watching the clock tick down to 0 was just a better relief than I've ever had.
It's hard to explain the game. I mean, the score says it, that it was definitely a defensive game, just every team battling for each yard, and it was tough yards to get, and it worked out good for us.
Very proud. I mean, this game really wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the defense. They came out here and they fought hard, and they made really good plays. I mean, it was just amazing by them.
I thought our entire team played great tonight. I'm very proud of the defensive kids. They don't get a lot of the press, but I think they read a little bit of the press about Cedar Park this week, and I think that might have motivated them a little bit. I don't know. We don't get into the bulletin board stuff, but our guys, we play defense at Lake Travis too, and our kids are proud of how we played, and I couldn't be prouder of how they played tonight.
So defense pulled through at the end. We really needed it. The offense had a rough start, and they couldn't really get going, but they finally did, and our defense came down and finished the game for us. It was really good. We definitely didn't want to lose this one. This is one of our hardest games, and we knew we couldn't lose Cedar Park. This is our one rival, and we had to beat them, so we just pulled together and won it.
Once again, your final score, Lake Travis 14, Cedar Park 9. The Cavaliers knocked the T-Wolves out of the postseason for the second straight year. As for Lake Travis, the drive for 5 is still alive. Remember, no team has ever won 5 consecutive state championships. At DKR, Texas Memorial Stadium, Jeff Power, Max Prep Sports, your leader in online sports coverage.